I was just making a couple shots, and honestly, we were at a point where we weren't really scoring, so I tried to get more aggressive. And there's times where I need to be more aggressive, but a lot of times, like early on, Avery was playing great, and I was trying to get him the ball in every angle that I could. So just trying to pick my spots, and a couple shots went in.
I would probably support a change in that that wouldn't allow that. Would call it intentional or whatever you want to call it. Call it like it would be called in the last 2 minutes. But because it's a rule, and usually if a guy's making 1 out of 2, it makes you think twice. To his credit, he made 1 almost maybe every time up to the foul line, and but we were scoring, and so we were getting a +1 almost in about 10 or 15 seconds off the clock for the better part of 3 or 4 possessions.
9 in a row.
9 in a row.
All right, that is what we call a cold open. That's cold. The Celtics, cold. They fall 104-92. Extra point there in the end. That was 103-92. But the Celtics lose 9 in a row. They go on a road trip. We don't see them for a while, and we don't see wins for a while. They come back, and they lose again. Jared Bayless in his TD Garden for the Celtics debut, he scores 17 points, almost all of them coming in the fourth quarter.
All but 2, we think, yeah.
Exactly. Huge game for him. But first, I want to talk about Dwight Howard, because he's really, really good at basketball.
He's pretty good.
And Kelly Olynyk guarding him tonight. Kelly's made a lot of strides on defense. And he's made some steady improvements since he came back from that sprained ankle. But tonight, the times when he was guarding Dwight Howard, it was as if nobody was guarding him at all.
Yeah, I mean, this is a broken record at this point, but every time the Celtics play a premier center like this, they just don't have an answer. And it's just so funny that we're watching Omer Asik sit on the bench watch as this game's happening, thinking, what if we had that guy, right?
I forgot he didn't even play tonight.
He was sitting on the bench in his suit. He looked nice in that suit. He had it was like a purple shirt with like a gray jacket. It looked really, really snazzy. Yeah, they don't have anybody to guard the Dwight Howard types. They haven't all season. They still don't, and this is just the same tune we've been singing all season long.
Well, there was that period where Solinger did a very nice job against Hibbert, did a decent job against Duncan, got destroyed by the Rockets. That was during the first loss of the
40-point
Rockets,
first quarter,
where they also got destroyed.
Yeah.
But Solinger right now is in a funk. He's got a sore neck, as we found out.
He's got a sore lot of things,
yeah, but he's banged up. I mean, that's what happens when you're a banging big man. But the defense is just not able to handle low post dominance. And whether it's a center or just teams attacking the rim, that's where they're getting beat this year. It's in the paint, it's at the rim.
Yeah, I mean, James Harden was just going into the paint, getting easy layups, and just nobody was
traveling half the time, but he was still getting there.
I mean, that's the nature of the NBA. You got to adjust to that. There's no answer for that. Like, the Celtics aren't going to make referees call things. Like you said, they were just getting killed in the paint. It happened all night long. It's been happening all season. A guy like Harden is just so good at penetrating, getting to the basket. I mean, what did he shoot tonight? 6 of 18. I thought he was a lot better than that, actually.
No, he couldn't hit a shot from the outside, but he was able to get to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you those 6 were all layups because he was just giving up easy ones, and the Celtics were not defending the rim at all. Chris Humphries was a little bit off tonight. Sullinger was banged up. I mean, they didn't have anybody playing well in the paint. Olynyk, Favarani wasn't doing much for them defensively. It was just...
That's kind of a mess when they put Favarani in there for defense.
Yeah, I mean, they had to try something, and he was something to try.
There was one play where he got to the baseline, and then he got to the rim, and he kind of dribbled away from the basket, and Favarani just stayed glued to him, followed him out, left Dwight Howard wide open under the basket. And, of course, Lynn lobs it to Howard, easy dunk. And
there were a few of those lobs.
There were a lot of those plays
untouched.
where, I mean, obviously Dwight Howard gets lobs all the time, but there were plays where Dwight was basically left right into an easy position because either there wasn't somebody muscling up on him or they were kind of losing track of him because the Rockets do a good job of getting ball movement kind of across the lane and kind of creating tension in the area to give Dwight a little bit of space, and that happened every single time.
And there just isn't anything you can do against that. Like, Howard's just going to jump over you. Like, Jared Sullinger is going to try to defend against those lobs to Dwight, and Dwight's just going to, get around him, jump over him. He's just going to find a way to score in his face, even if Sullinger is right there. I just don't think there's any answer right now. The Celtics don't have anybody on their roster that can guard a guy like that.
And, of course, Terrence Ross, who's had a real breakout season. Terrence Jones has had a real breakout season.
Terrence Ross has too.
It's too many Terrences to remember, but he had a great game. He had 5 offensive rebounds. He had 8 total, I believe. Oh, no, he had
12 rebounds, yeah.
Excuse me. I checked that in like
12
the
and
early
12.
fourth quarter, and then the 3 blocks.
Yeah.
There were Bass drove on him once. Can't remember the other 2 blocks, but yeah, you try to go in on Dwight Howard. Obviously, you're not going to have much success. But having another presence down low for Houston has been the thing that they've really been looking for, and Jones is starting to get it done for them.
Yeah, it's funny because we were talking about the Brandon Bass trade for Ashik a month ago and saying that, they really need a traditional power forward that can put next to Dwight Howard. Maybe they've already got one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they didn't make any deal with the Celtics. Food for thought, yeah.
Jared Bayless
He's good.
didn't do anything for 3 quarters. He had that one pull-up shot that was nice, kind of.
Because Avery Bradley did all the things
Yeah.
for the first 3 quarters. I mean, he didn't have any opportunities with Bradley taking all the shots.
But Bayless in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
was absolutely fantastic. He was getting to the rim. He was hitting threes, drawing fouls. He did absolutely everything that you would want your 6-man combo guard to be able to do.
Yeah, and I really think I might end up liking the trade of Courtney Lee for Jared Bayless, not on a salary cap level, just on a basketball level.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Bayless is actually what the Celtics want in a combo guard, and he's kind of Jordan Crawford minus the bad things about Jordan Crawford. He's just a guy that can reliably handle the ball and create his own shot and score in the paint a little bit without the stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like you need just a steady presence like that, especially with Rondo still out, to just kind of hold down the fort and play solid basketball. He's just a solid combo guard that can score and play a little bit of defense too.
And the climax of the game was that play where Bayless actually got to the rim again, and instead of going all the way to the rim, he tried to slip a pass into a guy in the middle of the paint. I think it was Olenek, or maybe it was Bass.
I want to say Bass, but
Was it Bass at
I'm
that
not
point?
sure.
Maybe it was Solinger. But Harden pokes it out. Houston gets a steal, goes the other way, and scores. Harden, who made a lot of big defensive plays tonight, which is so strange, because it's James Harden, one of the worst defenders.
I mean,
in all of
there's big
basketball.
plays and there's consistent effort every possession.
Exactly.
He makes big plays. He gets steals, but
had he been able to get the ball to the big man on that play, James Harden covering him, good chance you're either getting a foul or a basket there. Bayless pretty much brought the team from 6 feet under back into this game, and they almost closed it out there.
I mean, they were still down by 6 or 8 or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it gave him a chance to make it look respectable, and that's something against the Rockets because they were firing tonight.
All right, well, that's it for part 1 of the Garden Report. Part 2, 9-game losing streak. Why,
that's happening.
how, what, where, when. We'll talk about it on the Garden Report Part 2 on Celtics Blog and CLNS Radio.